This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire. I'm at the final Symposium Resources Roadshow from Westpac headquarters in Sydney, where companies operating in the resources sector take the opportunity to speak enthusiastically to potential investors and take questions from the floor. Cloncurry Metals, ASX code CLU, is a Brisbane-based explorer of mainly shiny, expensive metals with high-quality exploration targets in Queensland and Mexico. The company's now added Turkey to that list, having just added some very exciting gold projects to its portfolio. Cloncurry's Metal Managing Director Mr Finnis has just swapped the stage mic for the lapel mic, and he joins me now. Simon, welcome again to ABN Newswire.
Great to be here again.
Now, there's some particularly exciting stuff we need to get to in Mexico, but first, the western extreme of continental Asia. Let's talk Turkey. You've acquired 3 gold projects there. Can you just talk us through them?
Sure. We managed to acquire 3 projects from Frontier Gold, which is a large TSX listed company. They've decided to focus on their Nevada operations, Long Canyon, which is a very, very significant gold operation, or will be a gold operation, significant ore body. And these 3 projects have all been worked to the point where they've all got targets on them. They're very attractive targets from our point of view. The gold story is still coming along. Happy to see that there'd be heaps more price upside in gold. And we like Turkey from the point of view of the jurisdiction. You know, they're trying to get themselves into the EU. They're reviewing their mining law. All the law's great. The taxes and all that sort of stuff are fantastic. Lots of incentives for primary producers in Turkey. And we're just starting to see other companies notice that Turkey is a good place to do business. We've got Anatolia, of course, which is just about to merge with Avoca. So they've got a big project there called Kopla. El Dorado, which is one of the bigger gold mines in the world, just took over Sino Gold 6 months ago. They have 2, one project that's operating and another one in development. And one's a high-grade gold system that, unlike what we're looking for, a 10 gram of gold resource, 1.5 million ounces. Wow. So we're very keen on these projects. We think they've got a lot of merit. They fit our company in that we have, our focus has been in the copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver range. Now that seems to be a big range, but they're all similar metals. They tend to group together. So these things are prospective for gold, and we're very, very happy to be working in Turkey.
It's not exactly the first place that comes to mind when you think of gold, but as you say, there's no obvious impediment to working there, is there?
No, exactly right. And we actually think that because it hasn't been worked over, there's lots of opportunities there. And because of the reviews in the mining law, we're seeing now that more opportunities are becoming available because people are having to work their ground, and you can't just hang on to your ground, you've got to work it. People tend to make choices and they prioritise, and we're happy to pick up some further scrap should they become available.
So how was the acquisition structured and funded? How did you go about that?
The 2 projects, one's called Aktama, the other one's called Ispir. We are purchasing those outright just for giving them some shares. We're giving them 2.25 million shares each for 100%. Yunta is a farm-in arrangement, a joint venture, and we have to spend a certain amount of money in the first 4 years to earn 51%. And we made an announcement yesterday where all the details are involved. I'll make people go to the ASX and go to our website to have a read. And we also give them some shares, and our maximum earning there is 60%. So Frontier retained 40%.
So how far advanced are the projects there?
Yunta is drill ready. It has 2 very significant anomalies. One's a pure geophysical IP anomaly in the southern part of the most northern tenement. And the other anomaly is a coincident geochem and a magnetic anomaly, and that is a really good indicator for these epithermal style deposits.
So you're obviously convinced that there's more there?
Look, there's gold on the surface. We know we've got a 5 gram per tonne assay in a rock chip. So those sort of indicators are telling us that there's certainly something happening, and we're happy to go and drill some holes and see what goes on.
Front foot or back burner issue? Very much front foot?
Absolutely front foot. We'll be into there as soon as we can next year.
Okay, let's spin the globe around to Mexico, and it's I guess fair to say that mining silver centuries ago focused on the most obviously rich and easily accessible veins, but they by no means had the technology we do now to find all of it, and you've hit some silver lode. It was the El Rodeo project.
Yeah, the El Rodeo project, and where we've had most interest recently is a little project called Espirito Santo. And that was one of these mines. It was mined in the 1500s, and anecdotally they were taking out 4% silver, which is 40,000 grams per tonne. So
you've described it as bonanza in your release, bonanza grade.
Yeah, look, you know, some of those grades that we found there at El Burro, which is one of the veins at Espirito Santo, went 3,800 grams silver. So in gold equivalent, that's 70 grams a tonne gold. So
which is
really
astonishing numbers.
Fantastic grades. Obviously, a lot of that stuff has been mined, but you know, as you said, if it's 500 grams a tonne, we're not going to argue.
Yeah.
You know, 4,500. We're happy to take it, and you know, there's zinc there. There's also copper there, and what we've discovered lately, and the presentation I'm doing today, we have several other vein systems in that area within a kilometre of that site. So we think we're looking at a a bigger system. We think we're looking at a swarm of veins that could make up one project, and that for us gives us the encouragement that we need to go and drill some holes and do more work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the veins are close enough to do this as a single open pit.
The original concept of Espirito Santo was just to do we could do a very simple open cut to take those veins out, and any veins in between that haven't been identified or don't come to the surface. That's certainly still on the cards, but we certainly now thinking that there's an underlying system there that's feeding all these veins, and that warrants further investigation. But the other, that we could end up with 3 open cuts there at those 3 separate sites, or we could end up with lots of big open cuts. So, look, it's a very, very interesting part of the world.
Access issues?
Nothing major. We had to put a lot of roads in early, but it is within 50 kilometres of a town called Huetamo, which is a town of about 20,000 people. There is high voltage power nearby, and there's plenty of water.
Okay, and I'm guessing here, but Mexico would be inherently mining friendly, wouldn't it, given the culture there over so many centuries?
Absolutely, and that's one of their major primary industries. Their mining laws are very, very generous. There's no royalties, there's no issues with repatriation of funds, there's no restriction on foreign ownership. So
Fabulous.
Very, very keen to have miners from all over the world there.
In 30 seconds, what was your main pitch to potential investors today?
The main pitch to them is that we're focused on copper, gold, lead, zinc, silver. We are happy to go anywhere we think the rocks are good, but we are looking at jurisdictions that we believe are up and coming. Rather than looking at sexy commodities, we're looking at places that perhaps haven't been explored as much as they should have. And our model is that we're setting up teams of locals to run these businesses for us.
Simon Finnis, Managing Director, Cloncurry Metals. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire.